So apparently football maturity is going to be a big thing for Caleb Williams this upcoming season. So let's talk about this, people. What is going on, y'all? Fox Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, about NFL. Here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, guys, please do hit that subscribe button down below. Would really appreciate it. Hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. So let's talk about this, people. All right. So this is an article from Jeremy Fowler of ESPN who basically talked about Caleb Williams. And this is what he had to say. And I quote, "Football maturity is going to be a big thing for him. League-wide, talking to other teams who are watching it closely because the ability is massive. But how does he comport himself on the field? The Bears have already been working with him on body language, how you're handling yourself in the huddle, on the sidelines when a play doesn't go right. And the word out of Chicago is he's handling himself well there." Now, some of the previous Bears coaches were not overly thrilled. I was told that he made public that he was watching film by himself. They felt like he could have handled that a little better from an accountability standpoint. So those are all things people are watching. But word is this offseason, he's been great, really taking to Ben Johnson's hard, aggressive coaching. End quote. All right, a lot to unpack there. Let me just start by saying I could care less about what previous Bears coaches have to say about Caleb Williams. There is a reason they are previous coaches and no longer here because they were god-awful at their jobs, okay? So that is first and foremost. The second thing, Caleb Williams letting it out that he was watching film by himself was not exactly Caleb. It was the report from Seth Wickersham's book in which it came out and, Williams had told his father, Carl Williams, that he watched film by himself at times during his rookie campaign. So he didn't tell that to a reporter. He told that to his dad. And that got out in the book by Seth Wickersham. So that's point number 2. And so point number 3 is I understand the concerns with Caleb's body language and maturity that people might think that there's something that needs to be worked on. And this was something that Ben Johnson did already address earlier in the offseason where he talked about we're working on body language as well and how he doesn't want Caleb to be too emotional when he gets sacked, when a bad play happens, like all of these things. And we know Caleb wears his emotions on his sleeve. I get all that. But my point here is this. Let's just be 100 about this. All that matters at the end of the day is production. Does Caleb Williams produce? Because if he produces, then to me, that is pretty much all that matters. So there's essentially multiple ways you can succeed in sports, in life in general. You don't have to be one type of personality, right? You take the NBA, for example. You take a guy like a Tim Duncan and a guy like Kevin Garnett, 2 of the greatest power forwards of all time, 2 very different personalities. Tim Duncan, quiet, unassuming, keeps to himself, leads by example. KG, loud, braggadocious, in your face, dog mentality. But like both of them, incredible. So Caleb wearing his emotions on his sleeve and leading the team that way, to me, that's not football maturity or immaturity. That's just how he leads. Now, him showing emotions, not going to be a problem with me, honestly. All that's going to matter is production. That is what matters at the end of the day. See, we've had previous Bears quarterbacks that would, be quiet, put their head down, go to work. Mitchell Trubisky comes to mind, Justin Fields, quiet, wouldn't talk much, unassuming. But the production wasn't there. It just wasn't, all right, consistently at least. And that's why they're not here any longer. So if Caleb is this loud, braggadocious quarterback who, again, wears his emotions on his sleeve, lets people know, shows it on the field, but he balls out every single week and he does it consistently, let him do it, man. Let him do it. So I really don't care about that. So to me, this is much to do about nothing, a bit of a non-story for me. I don't care about people worrying about Caleb's football maturity. All I care about is production, and he can absolutely produce with his current personality the way it is. This is not a Johnny Manziel situation, all right? Let's just be clear about that. This is not he's immature because all he does is party off the field and, put himself in bad situations. Like, this is just about, hey, he just gets a little emotional at times. If he gets sacked, he shows it, this and that. Like, Ben Johnson's going to work with him on that. I'm not concerned at all, okay? So to me, just wanted to come on here and talk about this because I hate this issue that people have with Caleb wearing his emotions on his sleeve. Like, so be it. As long as the dude produces, that's all I care about. Like I mentioned, we've had Bears quarterbacks that have not been this type, but they haven't produced. So that all that matters is how well you play. So let me know if you guys agree with me on that. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts. As always, thanks for watching.